What's going on, everybody? It's ETAPRIME back here again. This is going to be a quick one and kind of an open discussion. I'd like to know your thoughts on this, but it's been a year since the ROG Ally was announced. Of course, a lot of us remember that ASUS announced this on April 1st, 2023. We all thought it was an April Fool's joke, but it turned out to be a real product with that Ryzen Z1 Extreme. And personally, I was hoping to hear a little bit of information on April 1st this year, 2024, but unfortunately nothing happened there. But earlier this year, there was a little bit of a slip up from ASUS's India vice president, and he stated that they are working on the ROG Ally 2, slated to release in 2024. If you're a regular viewer of the channel, you know that the ROG Ally is my favorite Windows handheld device. This has definitely been my go-to. I love the performance it puts out with that Ryzen Z1 Extreme. Of course, we could always use a little more performance in a handheld form factor. But I'm really excited about the ROG Ally 2, and with this video, I kind of wanted to get my predictions out of the way, specs, some features that I'd like to see. And I'd also love to know your thoughts in the comments below. What kind of features do you want to see with the Ally 2? Are there some things missing from the first one that need to be in the second one? But I wanted to kind of get started here with my predictions. And the first thing we kind of need to talk about is a new APU. We know that the original ROG Ally is powered by the AMD Ryzen Z1 Extreme, which is basically the 7840U without the AI element installed, or Ryzen AI as they call it. And this is in the Phoenix Point family of APUs from AMD. And of course, we just got Hawk Point with the new 8000 series, but it's still kind of Phoenix-y. Basically, they upgraded the Ryzen AI engine for a little better performance there on the AI side of things. But AMD has kind of released their notebook roadmap, and this is something that we can kind of look at and get a feel for what's down the road, and hopefully see something like this in the ROG Ally 2. From this roadmap, we're just going to be starting at that 4nm Phoenix Point, moving up from there 2024, talking about the Strix Point APUs. Now these are going to be based on Zen 5 with RDNA3 Plus graphics. Personally, I don't think we're going to see RDNA4 with the ROG Ally 2. I think we're going to be seeing something very similar to the Strix Point APUs that are going to be releasing later on this year. And there have been some other leaks besides AMD's roadmap. Like one of these Strix Point APUs that has been leaked so far is a 12-core part, and we're not sure if this is going to be known as Ryzen 8050, with some numbers thrown in there in between. But with those 12 cores, there's 4 Zen 5 cores and 8 Zen 5C cores. Basically, we've got the big little architecture, so think performance and efficiency cores here. But supposedly, all of these cores can be threaded, so that's 24 threads here with the 12-core Zen 5 CPU. But the thing I'm most excited about is the 16CU RDNA3 Plus or 3.5 iGPU. Right now, we've got 12 CUs with the Ryzen Z1 Extreme, and to tell you the truth, I'm not hoping for 12 cores and 24 threads with the new ROG Ally 2. I think we may see an 8-core, 16-thread part using that big little architecture just to keep battery draw down. But I definitely want to see that 16CU RDNA3 Plus iGPU in the ROG Ally 2. Another thing I'd love to see here is a new display. And of course, with the release of the Steam Deck OLED, I believe we're going to see an OLED display in the ROG Ally 2 using ASUS's Nebula display technology. I've done a few reviews on their laptops with these Nebula OLEDs. They are absolutely beautiful. Up to 240 Hz, super bright. We don't need 240 in the ROG Ally 2. I think 120 would be just fine. And they also support variable refresh rate. So just to break it down for you, this is my prediction on what kind of specs we're going to see out of the ROG Ally 2. A new Strix Point 8-core 16-thread Zen 5 APU. Who knows, AMD might release this as the Z2 Extreme. Not sure if that's going to happen or not. When it comes to graphics, we definitely need more power, so RDNA3 Plus graphics with 16 CUs. I'd love to see a clock on this, at least up to 2800 MHz. If not, a bit higher would be really nice. We're going to need some faster RAM to keep up with that new iGPU, and Samsung recently showed off some RAM running at 8533. It's still LPDDR5X, and I think we may see two variants here. A lower end model with 16 GB of RAM, and I'm sure this will come out of the gate with less storage, like a 512, and then a 32 GB model, which is going to be their higher end model with at least a 1 TB drive out of the box. I don't mind a 1080p display on this thing, but I'd love to see one of their Nebula OLED displays with at least a refresh rate of 120 Hz. Right now on the ROG Ally, we've got a 120 IPS, Not bad, and that VRR really does help out for games that just won't quite run at 60 FPS. But I do think they will need to add OLED technology to kind of compete with what the Steam Deck's bringing to the table right now, because the new Steam Deck OLED display is absolutely amazing. I think this time around we're also going to get Hall effect joysticks because everything's using those Hall effect sensors, and at least a 50 watt-hour battery to kind of keep up. There are a couple other things that I'd like to see here, but I don't think it's going to happen, like USB 4. Unfortunately, ASUS has their XG mobile port. I think we're still going to see that on the ROG Ally 2. Definitely gives them a case to sell more of those eGPUs. A 2280 M.2 SSD. They definitely want to keep everything as small as possible, so I'm pretty sure we're still going to see that 2230 sized M.2. And it would be really nice to have a 60 watt-hour battery with this right out of the box, but that'll definitely bring the weight up, so I think it's going to be around 50 to 53 watt-hours. A way around this would be like a connector on the back that allows us to use the detachable extended battery pack. Now we can always use a USB Type-C battery pack, but you kind of got to strap it to the back. If they design something with, let's say, another 40 watt-hour battery that could kind of just snap right on the back, I think that would be really great for traveling, but yeah, weight is going to be way up with an extra battery strapped on this thing. But the only way to really know what kind of specs we're going to see with the ROG Ally 2 is wait for ASUS to announce something. But I'd love to know in the comments below what you want to see out of the ROG Ally 2. I think a 7-inch display would be fine here, but some people may want something a bit bigger. Of course, with that Nebula display, definitely looking for smaller bezels here. I know there's a lot of stuff I missed here that everybody's been talking about, so let me know your thoughts down below. As soon as we get some official information on the ROG Ally 2, I will make another video. I'll also post it up in my community section. But that's it for this one. Like always, thanks for watching.